it's your girl Nay, and welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, I am a life coach, and we talk about things that consist of inner childhood trauma that we're trying to heal from. We work on healing on those type of things, and then we also work on becoming the best versions of ourselves. So what I will be talking to you guys today, y'all, why I just can't get into this. What I'm going to be talking about is, so bear with me because I don't got this shit all the way down together yet. I'm still figuring out like how I want to do this. And it's just, I'm still trying to get comfortable with this, y'all. Like, I want to throw this whole little part away. Like, throw it all away. Just start over. But you know what? I done pressed record and redid this stuff about 3 or 4 times. I'm getting tired of it. But anyways, we're going to talk about the victim mindset today. And I'm going to give you guys a story. It might be summary of stories. We'll just see what the hell flows through, what comes to mind. But I'm definitely going to talk about me and how I played the victim mindset and kind of how I kind of had to overcome it. So I had to learn and grow that I actually played victim. And I've heard previous relationships, they have pointed out that, oh, you're playing victim. I know my ex used to do that. And it wasn't the first time that I had heard it. And I used to get really offended because no, I was not. Like, I was not playing victim. I was not trying to be a victim. That was so insulting to me. And I really didn't understand like how I was being a victim. And when I would ask, nobody would ever be able to explain. So I didn't really understand like what that meant. I just knew that this was my truth and I was telling the truth and I was being sincere, and you telling me I'm playing victim, that's not my intention. So it wasn't really registering to me like what exactly that meant. So let me tell y'all, found out what that meant. I found out what that meant, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, I don't think I've apologized so much in my life because of how bad I have felt about certain things that I've had to grow and realize that I probably played a part in. What I mean by this, like, in relationships, a lot of us tend to get upset and we tend to blame others for how they made us feel. And I mean, ultimately, yes, they did co-create and they had played a role in making you feel how you feel. But at the same time, you kind of have to look at yourself. You got to turn that finger around and point it at yourself and look at how you played a part of this outcome. A lot of times we have things rooted so deeply down into our subconscious, and we have these blockages, and we become a certain way for so long that we tend to forget how that even came out. So if you find yourself being put in situations where, you know, you're in arguments or having disagreements with an individual, and it doesn't even have to be somebody that you're just particularly dating, but if you find yourself constantly going through this, or constantly having repetitive scenarios or running into situations that are familiar, even if it's different relationships or different friendships, you see that there is a similar outcome. Again, you might have to point that finger around and see how you played a part in that. Because you definitely played a part in that. And it's like, yeah, in your projected reality, whatever happened, that person probably did do, but they triggered you in some type of way. And when they triggered you in some type of way, that means that they're not solely responsible for why you feel the way that that you feel, because they have came into your reality. And if they're doing anything that you do not like in your reality, that means that it's something that you have an issue with. So you have to kind of see like, why do I have an issue with this? And you kind of have to do the healing work so you can overcome that issue. But the nice thing is, like, yeah, this person may have done something that you don't like, but if you have so let me back up a minute. One thing that you're going to have to do to start getting over the victim mindset is you're going to have to understand that you are in control of everything that happens in your reality. And I know that's kind of harsh sounding, but it's true. And once you're able to digest that and fully understand that, then you're able to shift your reality, in a sense, shift the projected reality of whatever you're seeing. And I know that sucks to hear that, but the good thing about that is if you have the power to do all of that, that means you have the power to fix it. You have the power to shift your reality in a different way, in the direction that you would like to see it. But to do that, you have to let go of those limiting beliefs. You have to pull up those deeply rooted beliefs or experiences that you have encountered once upon a time that you're holding on to that no longer serves you anymore. And you have to do some releasing. You have to release that. I don't need that. I don't even believe this anymore, or I don't have to believe that. Who made this rule up? Who said I have to go with this way? Once you are able to understand why I feel this way, it's easier to just let it go when you realize this doesn't even serve me anymore and I can do things a different way. When you are constantly blaming somebody for your actions or constantly blaming somebody for your feelings or emotions about something, you become a prisoner to them. You become a prisoner to them. Your mindset starts really thinking that you are just this helpless individual, and that is why you're constantly pointing the finger. You're constantly pointing the finger. And when you're constantly pointing the finger, you get to the point where you feel so deeply about what you're experiencing and the pain that you're or the suffering that you're experiencing. And after a while, you get to the point where when you're talking to that other individual, you're so strongly on your belief, there's nothing that they can say. No, that's not that. Whatever they say, no, because if you truly believe something, then you're going to project to see someone like that in your reality. And when you're projecting to see someone like that in your reality, that means that you're constantly thinking about it. You're creating these narratives. And as soon as they do something that doesn't look right to you, or it seems familiar from a previous experience, you be like, nope, ready to cut something off or ready to go off. You trying to play me or whatever. And this person is like, no, this is what I'm doing. And you're like, nope. And if you think about it, y'all, sometimes people create narratives to the point where you feel so strongly on what you believe and you've let your imagination just go so loosely that the individual that you're creating these narratives about, they don't even know what the hell you're thinking or what's going on. So how are they supposed to even compete with that? It's like no fair game for them. It's so you're basically making them pay for what somebody else did to you. And that's what people mean by I shouldn't have to pay for the things that I didn't do to you. But see, when you are constantly playing victim because you're blaming others, and then you're looking like, oh no, you're doing similar things, you can typically push away a really, really good person because of something that you have a problem with or that you're holding on to that you don't really understand yet, that it's okay to let it go. So you're suffering. And that's what it means by becoming a prisoner, when you're blaming your actions, your experiences on other people. And that's why some of us be looking at our biological clocks like, damn, how did that person get married? And we do things like, how the hell they get a ring? Or that freaking goofy, or she's fat, or she's not cute, or how did she, or she's ghetto, or it's something about that person. And I'm not necessarily saying like everybody in those situations are healed, but we're once again comparing ourselves. You know what I mean? And clearly we focused on the wrong things. So if you're going to constantly be in a victim mindset, you're going to miss out on a lot of decent opportunities for you, because you're basically allowing yourself to be prisoned to past experiences and situations that you're holding on to. If you're finding yourself constantly repeating or talking about past experiences and things like that and comparing them to what you're currently in, you might be a prisoner of blaming others for your experience. And you got to work through that. If you're seeing yourself constantly dating the same type of men or running into the same type of experiences, you might have some work to do. But that's all I got, y'all. Today I'm freestyling. I just wanted to talk about, being a victim and how I was a victim. I had to really do some work, and I have definitely shifted a whole lot, and it's one of the most healthiest experiences that I've ever had. And I wish I would have understood this stuff a lot sooner, because you feel free, you feel light, you feel like you have better discernment, and it feels so good. Some of the things you don't even allow yourself to even attract anymore because you have let go of certain things. So it's important to do that inner work, and we run from it. That it's so easy to blame others, because for that temporary moment, it raises your vibration from feeling powerless. So yeah, it is easy to blame somebody else, but overall, you still feel like crap. So it doesn't really help you, because you're not resolving the problem, because you're not putting in that work to really figure out what's causing me to feel this way. So just remember, if you're experiencing certain things and you're finding yourself blaming others from certain situations, it's not wrong, but I do want you to understand that there is another way. And I feel like if you know that you're being stubborn, which you would be because you're not trying to try a different way, if you know that your way is not working because you feel like crap all the time, or you're tired of going through certain experiences, or you're tired of having certain situations constantly happen to you, and you feel like the world is against you, you feel very heavy, you feel like you're a burden, you feel very helpless, we got to take the time out to work on ourselves. That's going to put you in a depression. So you really need to, you owe that to yourself. You owe that to your loved ones. You owe that to whatever is worth something in life. But you don't have to keep feeling like that. That is a choice. And I know that might sound a little harsh, because when I first heard it, I'm like, excuse me, but it's the truth. At the end of the day, it's still a choice, because if you choose to continue to feel that way or do things that you know is not working, that's called insanity. So why would you continue to make that choice? Why would you continue to make yourself feel that bad? Why not try a different way? But that's just my opinion, that's my opinion based off my experience and my reality. So, take that with a grain of salt. Hopefully it helps somebody. But again, that's all I got. It's been a pleasure. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm about to check. If you could please hit the subscribe button. I would love you guys to join the community. If you could hit the heart or give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. It's been a pleasure, and I'm going to talk to y'all later.